Cheche Igbo kelenu, ndị Igbo rienu, ndị Igbo ṅụọnụ. Ya dịrị unu na mma. Fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom and seekers of justice, my good people all over the world, those who will always identify with a just cause, who will always want to serve humanity, stand firm for one another, watch each other's back. I greet you all. The good people, the real occupants of Nigeria, the real indigenes of Nigeria, I greet you all. I say, may the good God who created us see us all through, in as much as we are standing fervent for justice. Today, I want to premise on that the Freeze's publication or social media work some hours ago, where some two Igbo guys, one from America, one from Germany, were trying to, make their inputs, lay down their own opinion over the whole saga that has preoccupied the social media for some hours now, ranging going to a day. And what is it? It's about the sit at home, the supposed letter from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu Nyendo, our supreme leader, and as it relates to Simon Ekpa and the barrister who came up with this letter. Okay, before I go into the main discourse which surrounds Mazi Simon Ekpa and the letter and his position after the release of the letter, the counter accusations. Okay, going from the premise, which is that the Freeze's broadcast or interview, putting up an enabling environment for these two Igbo sons to converse or to interact. There, a young man who hails from the Igbo land and also who calls from America, and the other one who responded from Germany, he said that he wouldn't want to comment if no one is talking about it, if the Obas, if the Ezes, the Igwes, if the governors, if the Ohanese are not talking about it. Why he's, sometimes I must be very direct, I will not waste your time. The young man was talking about, you need to go and visit Daddy Freeze. It's hours ago now. Go to his page, Facebook page, you will see this. Now, you will see the two people, the two human beings. You will see the different human beings we have in this life. One feels he is not directly affected, but he has the right to comment. And the other feels that one must stand in the gap and fight for justice, which is an opposing view of the first. Now, the letter was confronted with the question from the first person, who's from America, who asked three cardinal questions which he couldn't complete the thought. But I got out what he wanted to say. I think the first of the question there was that for the past 2 years, he was posing the question to the guy from Germany. He said, for the past 2 years, and that the Freeze was just laughing. He was just assessing the point of view of these people and their mindset. That the Freeze himself was able to see that this man from America is the type that just want to be safe in the hands of the political elites. The type that want to join their brothers to say, to paint a picture of their concern. At the end of the day, they are only trying to protect themselves and for themselves. They don't want to be seen an enemy of the people in power. They want to be politically correct, even when they know they are not making any sense. Even though, to an extent, Mr. Elvis, who hails from Germany, who called from Germany, was not able to answer his question in a way that will floor him very well. That the question, the first is, who is the one who have put the unrest in the Igbo land? Who is responsible for the unrest in Southeast for the past 2 years, 3 years, according to him? That was the first of his question. And this is something that is so, everybody who have followed this development knows where everything is coming from. Now, he asked again, did the Igbos, did Biafrans really wish to sit at home? That was the second question. There, he didn't know the other. It's just unfortunate that Elvis didn't behave like Elvis, I know. I don't know, he didn't come very prepared. I was so busy with work, I didn't want to get distracted, but I said I would take time to listen to this thing again. So, now he asked again. He asked, who is the one shooting? In Elvis's attempt to answer him in his first question, he now flashed, he now struck with another question where he said, who is the one shooting the people? Elvis was trying to say the same people that shot the Nigerians at Lekki Toll Gate. And there are people, and we have a lot of people like this. They know the truth, but they will always want to create impression that they don't know because they want to be in the good book of the political elite. Maybe he has one little cocoon, or see cocoon somewhere. Cocoon mean house, all these small houses. They think, there is problem with people who are in America. Abraham about man baby, where they try, they are doing man baby. They don't save much. A lot of them, but that's the truth. They don't save much. So when they put up this, they want to protect others, Now he was asking, who are the ones shooting? Elvis was answering him. He was still, until he now had to tell Daddy Freeze. It seems I'm the one anchoring your program for you. Daddy Freeze said no. It is you and your brother. You people should finish because Daddy Freeze knew everything. There was a panel of inquiry set up under the leadership of a senior advocate of Nigeria. And the people that shot at these Nigerians are known. But because that some people, Nigeria is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu called it. It is a place where anything goes, where all manner of evil atrocities are committed. In as much as it is coming from the elite class, it is not evil. But let a little hungry young poor boy steal ordinary food, you will see them raining fire and letting loose hell on that victim. You will see jungle justice. You will see quick justice delivery in such case, which is injustice. Now, the question again he asked from it was a matter arising. He was asking, why are the Igbo elites and leaders not speaking up? Now I was asking myself, is this man asking this question to be answered, or is it just a rhetoric? Now I will come in full details. We discuss. Let's now go dissect this. From his first question, who are these people who have caused Igbos to suffer for these past 3 years? Who are these people that have caused Igbos? And Elvis attempted answering that. Elvis told him that some group of people who are supposed to be elders, who are supposed to be leaders of their people, gathered together, held a meeting in Enugu. Why? They held a meeting because they threatened. They felt that Nnamdi Kanu's existence and his swag, his general acceptance, his popularity is a threat to them and their political stools, which the Fulani gave them. And because of this, they had to call on the president to use his power to proscribe the group who are asking for the interest, for the well-being of the citizens, whom these Olodos, Ndori, who you call your elders, Ohaneze, who you call your governors, who you call your senators, gathered to silence so that they will continue to have their way. Now Elvis had to, this guy was trying to cut him short, but Elvis was still, because Elvis wasn't prepared like him, he allowed him to have the field day. Now the issue is, this guy, did you not understand what Elvis was answering? That these people felt so threatened, and they had to proscribe the group, the movement that is supposed to bring to cater for the well-being of their own people. Now when you always see how you know the hypocrisy, their hypocrisy. If you say what Simon Ekpa is moving for is not good, and you are trying to paint a picture of you admonishing that Simon should accept the letter from Onyendu, and who is this Onyendu and what does he represent? Onyendu is this same man who was representing the very interest for which the gathering and the collection of the Igbo people, the indigenous people, the Igbo people and their brothers, the movement, he is the leader that represents them. His movement was proscribed. He was attempted to be pied, and he escaped narrowly. And you say you are supporting him, you are projecting, you are painting a picture of you trying to call Simon Ekpa to listen to the letter. Your body language, you imply here clearly that you want him to accept the letter. You don't want him to take it like, Simon Ekpa, will not accept this and all of that. Because you already painted a wrong narrative of him being responsible for the unrest in Southeast. Can you see how evil-minded our people are? Can you see how evil-minded they are? I am taking everything bit by bit because I am going to respond to all of this whole saga on the social media for the past 48 hours. For the past 24 hours now. Now you listen. This young man, I don't know your name, and I don't want to know your name because you are a very dubious character. You are a very wrong number. You are very, very evil-hearted. Now, you want Simon Ekpa to accept the letter. You are painting the picture because you are posing a question that is supposed to be on its own a rhetoric. Who are responsible for the killings, for the unrest in the whole of Southeast for the past 3 years, like according to you? Since you have said this for the past 3 years, Nnamdi Kanu is just captured for 2 years now. So, Nnamdi Kanu has been wreaking havoc in the Southeast. And by extension, he introduced somebody to us whom he said we should follow. Because he's taking the struggle to another dimension. So by extension, the person he put, because it's the person that he put in place that you want to attack. Now, Nnamdi Kanu, for the past 3 years, for the last 3 years, he was in charge and responsible for the kind of revolutionary movement, and somebody has continued the movement, and you want to stand somewhere with your hypocritical nature to say that the second person whom he introduced out of trust, which even Ejimako's letter showcased that he is having the trust of Onyendu till today. Now, you are looking for a way to paint a picture of him being responsible for the civil unrest. Now, this man, are you blind to all you remember the police inspector in Oka who have been responsible for all the evil activities, thank God he was exposed by a fellow police officer whom in turn is now his own life today, because he is now exposing his colleague today because his own life is now in danger. Now somebody exposed all of this. At different occasions, even Hope Uzodinma, trying to play his politics, exonerated IPOB from all the killings, said that it is his political opponents, his political rivals in Imo State. Let's start from Imo State. I remember it is there in news when Obiano exonerated, and even Soludo at a point exonerated the IPOB. But you are painting the picture. You want to sell a narrative of IPOB and the movement, IPOB and their movement, or her movement, being responsible for the arrest. A lot of you who share in this kind of I don't know what to qualify your view, but it's in summary, it is satanic. Who is the one responsible for the arrest in Southeast? As if you don't know. As if you don't know that all those political talks who have been armed for elections did not return their arms. As if you don't know that a lot of people have been captured, even on interrogation. They made confessions, which then exonerated IPOB from all this. You want to, because you feel you have political interest, you want to partake in sharing of the Nigerian national cake. You want to cut your own cake tomorrow because you are warming up for one political office, as I can see your eyes. The way you are mean to talk about this, your tone, there is cruelty in your eyes. There is cruelty in your eyes. Who are the people responsible? Who other is responsible than those men who gathered like vultures in Enugu to call for the proscription of a movement that is peaceful, devoid of any kind of social menace? A movement that is so organized, and even when court granted the leader bail, Nigerian military went after him in his own hometown, and in the course, many countless people were victims who paid with their lives for no crime. You don't know who caused the arrest. You are asking for who is responsible for the arrest. You heard the court, Nigerian court, where we know that when me and you are having issue, you cannot be a judge, I cannot be a judge in the case. There should be a third party. But in the case, we allowed them to be the judge, and they are still indicted, and we are vindicated. Our leader is vindicated, and you are still asking for who is responsible. Somebody who is ready to go out of the normal way to make sure that we are victimized, to make sure that we are humiliated, to make sure. Are you not sensible enough to know that somebody who can do anything, who can even say to hell with the law, to hell with the court judgment, can be responsible for sponsoring the civil unrest you are seeing today? You say you are smart, you say you are in US, you say you are intelligent, you say you have the guts to speak, you say you represent, you can talk. And you're asking who is responsible. You're asking for who is responsible when you heard telling you to your face in the public, telling you that this one God has given him, who is going to remove him. They never born that person when one remove him. That is, he will get there, he will retain the power at all cost, irrespective of who is going to stand on his way. Anywhere he perceives anything threats, he is falling. And is that not enough for you to know who is responsible? And what is the source? If I leave it at this level, you will say, yes, is he still not an Igbo man? Then who put him? Who had to violate court? Who had to go violate established facts and use technicality to install a man who is not even second runner-up, who is not even in second or third position, but in first position? He's made a governor by Fulani court. And as peaceful as we are, we did not revolt. We kept allowing him, but he never rested. He kept doing everything. Now I'm not pursuing them mad. He's on daily basis to retain this power. And you are asking who is responsible for the unrest in Southeast. This is how cruel you can be. You and those who share in your idea, who share in your view, you are very disgusting. I am not living that path. Yes. Now, the second question you posed was, the sit at home, we are saying that people want to stay. Did the Igbos, did the Biafrans really want to sit at home on Mondays? Because you are using Mondays for now. You can see it. Why I call you hypocrite, all of you who share in this view, this malicious, this treacherous man here standing, the advocate of haters of their own people. Now, I tell you, the people don't want to sit down. And you watched a protest in Enugu. It's just a couple of days, this week. A protest. The whole Ababa, the whole Enike, the whole Holy Ghost, they trooped out, protesting against the governor. Was it Simon Ekpa who sponsored them? Did Simon Ekpa mobilize them? Did he give them money? This time around, did he give them even Egbe? Now, what do you have to say again? You are a full-blown hypocrite. You are despicably evil. You saw these people protesting. You saw broadcasts. You saw them talking out in the videos, different videos that circulated over the social media. Then the people telling the governor that, who are you to tell us when to open our shops? Are you paying our rents for us? If I like, I can rent a shop and lock it up at the end of the year. If I can't afford to pay my rent, the landlord will ask me. Then who are you, the governor, to tell me when to come and run my business? Didn't you see the protest? Can't you see that you are evil? Can't you see that you are not just a lunatic, but evil? How come? How come? How come you didn't watch this part? But you are very, very ready to dig out things that doesn't exist. You saw the people themselves. Thank God for that video. Thank God for that protest. Thank God for everything. Thank God even for the lives that was taken by the security apparatus there on the protest. Thank God you saw the people that were responding. Some ndị na-eko no na South Africa ways if ever na-eme. The mouthpiece of the DOS. You saw a video they made in response. They were encouraging the governor. They should keep on protest. You know, he was saying, you see the kind of people that in your front line that are sharing views with you. Ndi koko, bundi na share views with you. Bundi na meregi DOS. Look at you. Maybe they have promised you will be a counselor, and I got that change in America. We are on ground. We are sitting at home. We have businesses here. We are sitting at home. We are losing. But there is no how you can get anything tangible without making losses first. You should know that. Now, are you aligning with the people that you say that have been oppressing you? Now to say that what you are doing that is affecting them should be stopped. How is it affecting them? That would be the question. When a man wants to take certain decisions and he knows that he will pass through some pains on the course of this decision, but he has something to achieve from it, and you think you are sensible to object or question his decision, Simon Ekpa cannot compel the whole of the Igbo to go into sit at home if they are not giving their consent to it. We are a stubborn race, you know that. We are even some people, some people who are around decide to call us people of a higher pride. They can say anything they wish to. We are not there. We are not talking about that. They see our stubborn nature. They see our strong will. They see our doggedness in whatever we choose to do. They envy it. And they target pride. That's not a problem. We're not going there. We can't be deviated. We can't deviate in what we're doing. Now, what we're saying is, you need to desist from being an evil man, such as you are now, as of today? How can you ask a question of who is shooting? And this guy is busy telling you, those people who shot at the Lake toll gate, and you are busy trying to still repeat the question as if what is answering is nothing. Okay, the Nigerian security, the Nigerian military, the Nigerian police. Now, is that one also a made-up story? The Lekki toll gate, is it a made-up story? Was it Simon Ekpa who came to shoot? Now, why are you now refraining from the point that Elvis was making, pointing at this? If you're not evil-hearted, if you're not dubious-natured. Now, I'll just ask you, why are you asking why Igbo elites are not talking? The feudal system you had in Europe, was it not favoring some people? When there was a motion to change the feudal order, were not those benefiting from it working hard to uphold it? So why are you asking the people who are enjoying, benefiting from the evil order, why they are not speaking up against the evil order? Does that make sense to you? Or you just want to share, you just want to talk, or people are talking? Why are you expecting Ifeanyi Oba? Why are you expecting Ate Ezeonugo, who is getting contracts from Nigerian, every government that comes? He play along and is always ready to sell you out. Why are you expecting a Soludo, who is ready to sell out his brother to go to congratulate a man who jumped from the window to be his president, and he was disgraced, rightfully disgraced, on the inauguration occasion? Why are you expecting him to be the one to speak up to save you? Why do you want to believe the letter Onyendu wrote that is attributed to Onyendu writing? Why you never believed Onyendu in the first place? You want to believe the letter that came from him. Did you believe Onyendu and you did not believe in Simon Ekpa? What is Simon Ekpa doing that Onyendu did not do? Have you not seen the videos when he was ordering for the sit at home? He was even more aggressive about it in his own time. He said, even the market leaders, anybody who refuses to yield to it, the videos are there. So what are you trying to say? Do you have any point, or you just want to be heard? Let them see my face. I can talk. I sabi speak grammar. I dey US. May they know. We don't know you dey US, man. US man, Americana. Americana. We could declare for you. No, we won't start to declare for you now. We will remove Simon Ekpa, we will then put you, we will declare for you. We'll turn one day about what I give to the day. The people like you, I don't know. Okay, people like you were there. You were listening, you were watching them. A man who was found wanting in druggery, was found wanting in cybercrime, involvement in sharing of the proceeds of cybercrime, in killing of innocent citizens and framing them up in the bid to protect his business allies, criminal business allies, his colleagues, his crime syndicates. And this man was celebrated. He enjoyed just a period of months detention. At the time there was a prison break, he was whisked out. After a while, some months, he was brought back. And you call him Abba Kyari. He was proven guilty of all these things. And he was majestically granted bail. And you were seeing jubilation. He was granted bail, treated like a king. He was an obvious, a well-known terror to the people. Involved in all manner of crime that are known to man. And he's granted bail. America demanded for his repatriation, for his rendition to America. He was protected by Nigerian government. The same Nigerian government who had to go out of the international laws, charters, conventions, who violated any treaty that will restrict such act of terror. going to another man's territory to kidnap a visitor against the laws of those lands, against international laws, against their own local laws, and you are so cool about it. You never made any video agitating, you never made any kind of public appearance to comment about it, and you are here trying to show the world that you can speak grammar, trying to show your aloofness over social issues and political issues. You are here trying to display your Iberiberism before the freeze, and he was just laughing at you. You never made any public appearance trying to condemn the release of Abba. You are there, you are watching the saga, the display of shame at the DSS headquarters, where the court freed the former central bank governor Emefiele, and you saw where the two security apparatus institutions are dragging who will be the custody of a man who have been granted bail. You were watching that because he answers an Igbo name. You did not get agitated. It did not concern you. And Abba was released. You were there. They say that on the occasion of his being in possession of firearms, that he will not be released. And a man walked to the Ash Rock. He was pointing fingers, calling the military names, calling the military, running down on the military, insulting the military heads, and even accusing them, and did not stop there. He went as far as telling you to your hearing that your race, that he has been responsible for the pie where they go on for Igbo land, and it's not going to stop. That he will continue being the pie. And when you were still being so cool, he didn't stop. He went and he sat in his room, in the comfort of his room, brought out AK-47. He brought out magazines. He showed you the first one. He said he never finished. He said he get them plenty. And he still brought the second one he showed you. And still made more threats. You were not agitated. You did not ask of who is now killing them. Who is killing them? You did not ask. We never saw your face anywhere in the social media. Nah, Makachineke, if I meet you one-on-one, amen, because you are very evil-hearted. The people like you who share this view, you are also wicked. He made all those threats, and no government went after him. No security of the government went after him. He was sitting in Asu Villa, dishing orders, telling you the contract he has. He is even again some 3 days ago telling Fubara that make him no play with him or he go collect woto. You were listening to all this, and you are only quick to paint a picture of that it is our IPOB people who are responsible for the terror, for the reign of terror in our land. And you say somebody should listen to you. You say nobody should call you a madman. No, you need to be truthful to yourself. Tell me, are you not worth to be called a lunatic? Tell me. You need to answer me. You are watching all this political and social development. You are not commenting. You were so quick to come and win the heart of your colleagues who you will soon be joining in political field. Because you saw what those guys, you want us to wait until they talk with how they were displaying their madness there at the National Assembly. You watched a man raise the emotion about the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You saw how the deputy speaker, you saw how the speaker quickly turned down the motion. So what were you expecting? That we should allow a man who have sacrificed everything for us to languish, to rotten in the custody of the enemy, just like that? if they sit at home, pen them. And I want to ask you, if you say you are very, I want to ask you this, man. I need to ask you, you and all these people who share in this your madness. How much billion did you hear the governor of Enugu State, Mba, who just entered yesterday, say that, although I'm just using his own because Soludo already said it. How much did they say they lose every day in Enugu State alone? We're not even talking about the whole Southeast. How much? How much billions? Now, I want to ask you, you are in America. Make out a finding. Myself, I have traveled. Some of us, we have traveled. We are in Nigeria here, doesn't mean we don't. We travel, we come back. Some of this, check around, even in Asia, go and cost the road projects they have and how much they used to. You will see over 2,000 kilometers of road spanning from a particular hemisphere of the state to another, and you see the durability and check the price. Now, if they are losing up to 10 billion naira every day just for one day, now how much in a month? How much in a month do they get? And then how much will a tangible road project cost? Now, how do you want us to continue in a life of misery like this? Till when? Then if we are not going to continue with it, then how are we going to go out of it? Who will do it? Who will lead the way? Now, those who are doing it, they are not human enough. You have more quality they don't have. Will those ones that will do it come from the moon? What will be their procedure? Their procedure for achieving it? Some of you who will just keep renting things, unprintable things. If this guy is not doing it right, tell me how to do it right. Get Onion to add for us and we will cut it off. Who will do it? Do you not know that in as much as you have elections, I have said this in over 2 of my videos, in as much as you have election in this enclave, people are like Hope Uzodinma will always emerge. You can never stop it, because it is only them, through them, will the interest of their paymasters, the West, be represented. The Caliphate will be represented. It is only through people like him, despots, tyrants, lawless people. Otherwise, tell me why a country who says they are pioneers, they champion democracy, come out to congratulate actually anti-democratic election declaration. Tell me, how do you want us to continue in this? Then if you don't want us to continue it, what is the way out? Who will do it? Bring the ghost that will do it. Let's see the ghost. Let us see it. The sit at home, some of you who are bluffing, is not hiding any proof. It's not hiding any fruit, and we are now having them debate about the release of American debate, bringing the topic. And it's not working. It's a riffraff. It's inconsequential. You saw Ekpa, your so-called Senate president. You saw him. He said it there. Take it or leave it, that there is one and only one governor in the whole of Southeast, because everybody feels his impact. Now, how else are freedom fighters known? How else do they look? Do they always wear agbada? Freedom fighters. What nature do they have? Do they go with 3 heads and Simon is going with 1 head? So what is your yardstick for all the rubbish you cop? All the all over the social media, because it's free. Tell me, I want to know. Bring your point, bring it, we will accept it. Tell me, where are those ghosts that will lead it? As if we are not students of history. We don't know that South Africa used this, and you are going to South Africa today. Elvis tried to point these things. I know you might not even be aware, not informed at all in anything political and social. Because you can't come out to the public space and be and be vomiting nonsense. I want to ask you, I am really angry. Your behavior, you are still our brother, one of us. Out of anger, I say things I should not say. Pardon me for that. But honestly, you really pissed me off with that show of aloofness. I'm still going to use that because I don't know what else to use. How come? Okay. How did you, what were you expecting as an answer when you were asking Elvis who are responsible for the shooting? I've still told you about the ones that ran away with guns when they were used during political thuggery days, political election days. The politicians themselves who have pledged loyalty to the caliphate and they have promised to deliver, and how they will deliver is to make sure they indict IPOB, to halt IPOB, to indict IPOB with attaching criminality to IPOB. It is unfortunate they met a man who doesn't listen to blackmails. Blackmails doesn't move Simon Ekpa because he's a military blood. They are causing this unrest. Those talks who they gave money then and gave gun, now they are not giving them money again, they still have gun. They are doing everything to still survive. And now are you saying that when you have gun and you don't have a job, you don't do anything possible to survive? That is the situation. Those men, those boys, they are giving this, they are arming. They are trying to survive. Take it or leave it. That is the situation. It is all those guys there in the National Assembly vomiting. All of them have their own. Like Soludo did not know what is about to happen to him now. Ifan Yoba is already arming his own boys. He's already arming his own boys. And Soludo is thinking he's doing that to fight Simon Ekpa for him and stops it at all. Soludo don't know. Ifan Yoba is preparing his own. He the wrong cartel. You all run things. You know what make the water swallow him. If Soludo is smart, Soludo will hurt him now. Because IPOB doesn't mean any harm to anybody. It is only political criminals who are utilizing our agitation as an opportunity to groom their talks. Now, when you see them, when they carry out some of the activities, they target IPOB. They go and report back to their alhajis. And alhaji will say yes, you are doing well. More effort. Because on election, INEC will declare in their favor. On election, don't worry. If INEC refuse to do, court will do it for them. So simple. And you remain there in US. Hey, Soludo, hey, Mamba. You remember you were all those ones who are championing, hey, let's do the election. You have done it. I am telling you, those people you see, the political class, even some of the traditional rulers, the Ohaneses. Look at the Ohanese. You see the show, what do you call him? Ato Ezonubo just gave them 100 million last week after their meeting because they say things he like. So they are cashing out 100 million. Out of that, they have now mapped out some for bounty on Simon Ekpa, which some of them will still take back because they can't get Simon Ekpa. So they sit at home. It has worked so many places. IPOB is not the first to use sit at home. Many countries have used it. In Asia, they have used it. I was talking about the road projects. All the roads in Nigeria you do, I don't know how many of them that last more than 1 year without getting spoiled. Now you ask yourself, these countries where you travel, even in Africa here, how come? Is it not the same material they use in road construction that is available in the market that your contractors or construction companies assess? So how come that when it is used in Nigeria, who have a very good land, it will the road will spoil in a matter of months? How come? Nobody is questioning it. You're not interrogating it. You have a lot of things to interrogate. How come when all of these criminals from onset, when they are captured, they make confessions? Those people they call, they are not arrested. Why? You're not interrogating it. Is that a sane society for anyone to live in? And why won't evil multiply? Why won't evil multiply in such an environment? How healthy is such an environment? I want to ask you. They caught this one. They caught Osisi Kanku. He made confessions. They caught what do you call him? Anini. He made confessions. They caught this one. He made confessions. Now, why are those who are responsible not? Was it not Kabiru in Kano State, Kaduna? Was it not Kabiru who was to banned? Was given traditional title when he was a non-terrorist, declared wanted, and he is crowned. And you want me to be happy that my same Nazin Nandekano, my same brother, my righteous brother, my golden-hearted brother should languish and rotten in the custody of Nigerian DSS. I should be going for church thanksgivings. I should be sharing testimonies. Share, hallelujah, that Onyendu is still in detention. The governors are. Now I want to still ask questions. The letter that has been flying, these things must be driven home very correctly. Aloye Jimako remains the barrister that Nnamdi Kanu have, and those of them who are like him in the team, Nyendu's counsel. He remains a very good lawyer, well trained. That is why when you saw him reading the script, even he mentioned that it is a script. You see our ever eloquent lawyer, our very well spoken lawyer, our sound legal luminary, jittering, making mistakes, making repetitions, struggling to read a letter that he has sat with for days. Does that not tell you anything? The issue is that Mazi or Barrister Aloye Jimako, he is a human being whom blood runs in his veins. Onyendu rightly was misinformed, not by him, Aloye Jimako, by some of the other miscreants who run around Onyendu, who visit him, who are privileged to visit him. They feed him, you know, a man who is not at home. Anybody who is at home is his eyes. So it is what they feed Onyendu that prompted him to say. Onyendu said, because some of us who are spiritual, we have gone out to inquire. Onyendu rightfully said the sit at home should be stopped. Now the question should be, why? Under what condition did he say that? A man who is in such humiliating environment, regimented, a man who is under such a confined, unhealthy, mentally unhealthy atmosphere for too long a time, a man who would have been subdued into, you know, saying some things he don't mean. But before he went, he was captured. He already told us that situation like this might come up. And when they come up, you should know that whenever he Onyendu start to say, oh, and you should know that something is wrong. He told us beforehand. Now, I want to still tell you, Onyendu said that based on the information he is fed and the pressure from within and without. Now, from the side of Aloye Jimako did not want to say this thing for over a month. If you remember the last broadcast appearance at Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the barrister to Nnamdi Kanu, Ifeanyi Ejiofor. The speech he made in one when he was interviewed, granted interview just within a week or two, he said that some of the people who are fronting themselves, you know, he was trying to mock Aloy Ejimako and paint a picture of him not being loyal to Onyendu and being deceitful to Onyendu. Now, he said there, if you have not watched it, search for it. I will not give you this. In this video, I'm not attaching any video. Or maybe just one or two. He said there that that person that Onyendu gave message, swallowed Onyendu message, don't want to give it out. So there I knew it. He was talking even before this letter saga. I knew it. He was referring to Aloy Ejimako. He said that Onyendu told this man to deliver a message since to tell Simon Ekpa to stop the sit at home. Now that man don't want to deliver Onyendu's message. Now, there are people like Ejiofor who are mounting so much pressure, apart from pressure from the political elites and threats to his life. And it is in view of this that Ejimako had to do anything possible to summon courage, take steps, even maybe well later, any financial inducement is also used to support and call for his submission later on, God knows. But for the letter, that letter did not come from Onyendu. The instruction came from Onyendu, but the letter did not come from Onyendu. If you remember, when earlier they started visitation to Onyendu, they said to us that no material is allowed. The DSS don't allow any of them access to the vicinity with any material, even including their phones. So when did the DSS now allow them to use biro and use paper to go there? Because I remember one of them, was it Ejiofor, even said that at a point his trousers were pulled out to go inside with boxers to see Onyendu. These things are there in the public. Now how come that because they want to stop sit at home, they are telling him to use a handwritten letter so that Simon, whom they thought is a clown, will accept it? It's a military blood because all the too rugged for you. He's not going to accept that. Even the people following him will not allow him to accept that. He's not going to do that. Now, if on the other hand, that actually Onyendu wrote the letter, that means the enemy is manipulating Onyendu to write letter. If the enemy will not allow Onyendu to have access to any material, not have access to phone, not have access to other materials, books, even his Bible. Now this one they are allowing him to access to Bible, and you are clapping that it is to your own interest. It's not your benefit. It's not your benefit. This video, I am not going to beg you to share it. I'm not going to beg you to like it. If you don't like it, leave it. But if you share it, it will do me good. It will do our struggle good. It will illuminate some darkness in the heart of our people who are still in the darkness. It's going to shed a lot of light where there are darkness. So, this logic, how come they are not allowing him access to material, allowing the barristers access into sharing barristers into Onyendu with materials? So who is deceiving who? Who is deceiving who? I will have to cut it here. I want you to drop your comments respectfully, but make your point as much. You have the whole time, the whole space to make your comments, make your points. Call me names if you wish. You know, insult me if you wish, but still hold on to these logics. Dissect the argument and know who is wrong and who is right. The judgment is for you to make. Abụrụ ndị kai nọ somewhere na ebe dị iche iche na-enwụsị kai gbasịa ọbụrụ mmiri, you know, na-akọ ife niile ito si bịa mkpụrụ mmiri si tie ya. No, and I call this the man, and I call the one uche. Let I go. Ha. So, as regards the Bex TV guy, he made sense. He made sense to a big extent. That for the first time, I say he made a sense. The sense he made is that in his last video today or yesterday, he said that the war, that the information, this letter stuff must be managed very well, so that it doesn't degenerate to, even though he is still calling for a stop in the sit at home, but that's a no-go area. It's not going to stop. For that side, I know he will never make a complete sense because he's too young. He's too young. So the way he sees things, you know, the way he sees things are still myopic. His views are not always very balanced. So, but he made a point where he tried to wage war. So, in that same spirit, I want to subscribe that spirit to say that Aloy Ejimako, our able barrister, we understand the whole thing. We understand the pressure. We understand, but you must be in control of the whole situation. Control yourself. Man, Simon Ekpa is a man I know very well. You might see him from the vantage of he's stubborn and a type you can't advise, but that's not true. He is stubborn. He needs to be stubborn, but he's not unrepentant. He can always have a balanced view sometimes. So, don't expect him to accept that message, because from onset, he preached to us. We accepted the preaching that anything that Onyendu says within the confines of the enemy, he will not accept it. Dear friends are not going to accept it because it's not his real mind. He's saying that under duress wherever he says it. He says that under duress. If he must address us, the right thing must be done. Justice must be allowed to prevail. And as regards Senator Engineer Baribe's comment, Engineer Baribe, you for yourself hand. Even though I still want to try to make a little argument for you. We know that you said that because you don't want to be seen to be fully the sponsor of IPOB and their activities, given that you are still in Nigerian politics. So you are saving your head, but you went too far when you use some words that mean incriminating IPOB and the leader, the supreme leader, the IPOB, the Biafra Republic government in exile leader, prime minister. I will tell you straight and with sincerity that we still hope to see you find a balancing of that statement, which we know you said not in your clear sense. Thank you, all listeners, fellow Biafrans, seekers of justice, the good people occupying the space of Nigeria and who happens to be the real indigents of Nigeria. Have a very great day and happy Sunday ahead. Bye. From the Table of the Wilderness 12 TV. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye.
TV News.